Hello and welcome to B&D. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the little bell for your notifications. Hello, as you see, I am not at home and I don't live here. I'm just here for a couple of days up here in Berwick, and this is the Haven Park at Berwick. So why are we here? Well, it was a good offer to come up. It's not during school time, so when it's not that time, then a lot of the weeks become cheaper. And because this is virtually March still, a lot of people come out, still a little cold and everything like that. So people just don't want to go away on holidays at that time. But it does give you a chance to, one, for me, have some heating, get warm. But I've been under quite a bit of stress recently. Last year we had the stress of the cold weather and not eating and not wanting to get out and losing weight. This year we had the government messing about with stuff which ended up being just illegal at the end. So we'll move closer and I will tell you, all I get is benefits. So they decided to do a review. So they want everything, I've never had a review the whole time, and now they do one, and they're claiming they're doing them on everyone. So I don't know how you're going to get through the number of people who are claiming benefits to get through all of them people in a time frame which would make any sense, and the immense amount of cost it's going to cost just to find out that 99% of the people are on precisely what they should be on and there's no changes to make. So we started off that they wanted bank statement, and before I knew that, I didn't have to physically send them a bank statement that showed what money got spent on, but yet I knew that virtually I was forced into sending it on the grounds that I heard that if you don't send it, they stop your money, even though that is totally illegal. So really speaking, I had just over 3 months of constant harassment from them, and it got to a point at the end that I just said, I'm not sending it. They wanted to see a statement for a Revolut card, which I only had for a short time because they changed how to put money onto it and I didn't feel safe to use it, so I stopped using it. But because I had it, they wanted to see a complete statement of everything that I spent money on. And see, the sun keeps going in and going out. So they wanted a complete statement of everything that I spent money on that Revolut card. Now, I told them that that wasn't legal, and the person on the phone just went into a complete argument in that lot and started physically bullying and saying, we want it, just send us the whole statement. But I'm going, you don't need that. You only need how much money comes in, where it comes from, and how much savings are. You don't need to see where I spend whatever money I have. And I'm going, I know this isn't legal for you to ask such a thing, because then I'd looked on YouTube and got a whole pile of things and was told there was a tribunal where someone had took the DWP to the tribunal, complaining about them asking for bank statements, and showing where you'd spent money. And there was another complaint of someone who got told off for buying a pair of glasses to help them see better. And yeah, so it got to like the last week was nothing but, we want the statement, you know, and threats and that lot. And they phoned me up one day and I was just completely peeved off. I'm going, you're not entitled. I physically told her on the phone, you're physically not allowed to have the statement showing what I spend money on. It is none of your business what I spend money on. And I'm going, I'm not happy to provide that. And they go, oh, no, you just send it. Everything will be fine. We just want to make sure you've got no money and you're not got a secret stash of cash somewhere, technically speaking. I'm going, no, I haven't. So at the end of it, I got really, really angry and really, really peeved off and stressed that I just said, well, I'm just going to go and kill myself because I'm not giving you this statement. And I put the phone down on them. And then they spent a couple of times phoning me up. But because I knew their number, I just didn't answer because I wasn't going to be harassed and bullied and coerced on the phone to provide something that is illegal to ask for. So I just ignored them. And first thing the next morning, they tried again to phone. They tried several times, as it seems, because I was in bed and asleep when they started phoning. My phone doesn't ring soon in the morning because I got a non-disturb time thing, so I don't get phone calls during the night. And they phoned several times. Then it seemed a Newcastle number started phoning us several times. And I got up at that time and I went downstairs and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. And I opened the door and there's two ambulance people there. And it was all down to they had phoned an ambulance because I'd said I was going to kill myself because of all the stress that they put me under. And I told the ambulance people, and I said, if they weren't asking for stuff they weren't entitled to, and if they weren't harassing me in such a manner, then I wouldn't have said that. But I said that because I was angry. And for an hour, the ambulance stayed outside my house while they did paperwork and tried to communicate. And later on that day, I had a phone call from the doctors to go in and see them about it. But then after that, they said they were going to pass it on to another department to contact us about the stress levels I have. And I haven't heard back from them. And that's been like nearly 3 weeks. So the amount of stress I've been under, then I couldn't wait for going up to the caravan, which is end of March, beginning of April. I needed some time away that I didn't have to think about things. So instead I found this as a way to forget about everything that they've once again done to me. It was their fault I dressed like this and I'm like this now. And then they were trying to push me with far too much that wasn't right. So, yeah, that's how I ended up being up here, all because of far too much stress that, once again, the government... She went through everything. I was on the phone with her for an hour and a half while they did a phone review before she then demanded that I sent more stuff that there was. And it was just ridiculous because I went to the bank and said, I want a statement on this bank, this savings thing that I have with you. And I said, I've tried downloading it and I can't do it. And they said, well, that's because we haven't produced a statement for it. You only get one a year, and it hasn't been due, so we can't print it off. We'll have to request one. And that took 2 weeks to come through. So it's like nothing that they ask for is easy to get, because if it's a savings thing, you don't get statements normally. You might get one once a year, but not on the date and covering the dates. I went into a bank which I've got like 10 quid in, and I've had that for like forever. And they wanted a statement from that. And I went in and asked for a statement, and they said, yeah, we'll send it out. And nothing came. And 2 weeks later, I went back in again. And they said, well, obviously we couldn't produce a statement because there was nothing on it to put on it. And I'm going, brilliant. I said, well, so a 3-month statement doesn't work. No. I said, then you might as well just give me a full year statement, because then it'll have a start and finish balance with the interest put on, which is like a penny or something. And I said, at least then it would have something on the statement to produce a statement. And they're going, yeah. So I physically had to get them a stupid statement, which I had to drive to go and get twice to ask for it. They did it really quick. They got it to us in 2 days, but I still had to spend my time and worrying, because they said, oh, well, we can only give you so long allowance before, you know, we'll take action and stuff. So technically every line was some type of threat, you know. So yeah, it's not like you're not trying to do whatever they want. It's that the things that they want, the companies that you have to get them from, aren't playing by the same rules. And even if you say it's because they want it, you still have to wait. It can take 2 weeks, it can take 3 weeks for it to arrive. So they're not playing in the same time ball as what Universal Credit and DWP want them to work at. It's not instant, you know. But then when it came to the time that I wasn't going to give them the Revolut one, then I just stopped giving them anything, because I wasn't wasting my time, because whatever they were going to do, they were going to do it, because I was refusing the Revolut one. So there's no point giving them anything else. But yeah, that got over and done. But then it ran on that something else happened, and we'll do that in the next video, because this is 12 minutes long and you probably aren't even here anymore. So until the next video soon, bye for now. Meow. Next time.